Chosen one, stop scrolling for a moment. This message is not here by chance. Something inside you already knows it. This is confirmation. You didn't just stumble upon these words. You were led here because heaven wants your attention right now. What you are experiencing is not confusion, bad timing, or spiritual failure. It is alignment. And more specifically, it is the final test before your breakthrough. If you've been feeling an unusual weight lately, a pressure that doesn't make sense, or a heaviness that comes and goes without warning, understand this: the closer you get to what God promised, the more intense the resistance becomes. The enemy does not waste energy on people who are going nowhere. He only fights what is about to move forward. So if everything feels harder instead of easier, it's not because you're off track, it's because you are right where you're supposed to be. Right now, it may feel like God is silent. Prayers that once felt powerful now feel like they hit the ceiling. Doors you believed would open have remained shut. People you expected to support you have distanced themselves. And in those quiet moments when no one else sees your struggle, you may be asking yourself, did I misunderstand God? Did I miss my moment? Chosen one, hear this clearly: God's silence is not his absence. Silence is often the environment where the deepest trust is formed. This season is exposing everything that still tries to compete with God for control in your life. It's not comfortable, and it was never meant to be. Comfort doesn't produce calling. Ease doesn't build endurance. God is allowing you to feel the pressure because pressure reveals what you truly believe when there is no immediate reward. Anyone can praise God when prayers are answered quickly. But it takes a chosen one to remain faithful when the promise feels delayed. You may notice that old temptations are resurfacing. Patterns you thought you were delivered from are trying to call your name again. The enemy is not doing this because you are weak. He's doing it because he's desperate. He knows this test is about decision. Will you go back to what God already rescued you from, or will you trust him enough to move forward without clarity? Regression always looks attractive right before elevation. This test is not about what you can do, it's about who you trust. God is intentionally removing visible support so that your faith is no longer dependent on people, emotions, or outcomes. He is teaching you how to walk by faith and not by sight in a deeper way than ever before. And yes, it feels lonely. Yes, it feels unfair at times. But isolation is not rejection, it is preparation. Think about every person God used powerfully in Scripture. Before public victory came private testing. Before authority came humility. Before promotion came pressure. Joseph's dream was real, but the pit and the prison were necessary. David's anointing was genuine, but the cave came first. Even Jesus, before stepping fully into his purpose, was led into the wilderness to be tested when he was hungry, tired, and alone. So if you are in a wilderness moment right now, that is not a sign that you are lost. It is a sign that you are being refined. God is removing anything that could contaminate the blessing when it arrives. He is strengthening your character so your breakthrough doesn't crush you. What he is preparing to release requires spiritual maturity, not just desire. This is why things that once satisfied you no longer do. Conversations feel shallow. Distractions feel empty. Your spirit craves depth, truth, and alignment. That's not boredom, it's growth. You are outgrowing what no longer matches where God is taking you. And that discomfort you feel is the evidence of transition. You are also being tested in how you respond. Do you complain or do you pray? Do you panic or do you trust? Do you speak doubt or do you declare faith even when your emotions are unstable? Every reaction matters in this season. God is not just watching what you say publicly. He is listening to what you believe privately. Chosen one, don't let the enemy convince you that delay means denial. God is not slow and he is not late. He is precise. If the breakthrough came too early, it would destroy you. If the door opened before you were ready, you would mishandle what you asked for. So God, in his love, is slowing the process to strengthen your foundation. Right now, heaven is weighing your obedience. Not your perfection, your obedience. Are you willing to keep doing what God asked you to do even when it doesn't make sense? Are you willing to stay faithful when no one is applauding you? Are you willing to trust God's timing even when your own timeline feels threatened? This is the test that separates those who are called from those who are chosen. Many start the journey, but few finish it. Not because they are incapable, but because they grow weary right before the breakthrough. Don't let that be your story. You are not being punished. You are being positioned. What feels like delay is actually divine alignment happening behind the scenes. God is working in ways you cannot see, moving people, circumstances, and opportunities into place. When it happens, it will happen suddenly. But until then, the test remains. Stay focused, stay grounded, stay obedient. The pressure you feel is not meant to break you, it is meant to build you. And when this test ends, you will look back and realize that this was the moment everything changed, even though it didn't look like it at the time. This is not the end. This is the threshold. And you are closer than you think. Chosen one, this stage of the journey feels heavier than anything you have faced before. And that is because it is no longer about what is happening around you. It is about what is being refined within you. Earlier seasons tested your strength, your discipline, and your willingness to obey obvious instructions. This season is quieter, deeper, and more uncomfortable because it is testing your trust when there are no signs, no confirmations, and no guarantees in sight. You may notice that God is allowing situations that press directly on your emotions. Small things feel bigger than they should. Words from others linger longer than before. Moments of doubt come unexpectedly, even after you thought you had settled certain questions in your heart. This is not weakness, it is exposure. God is bringing hidden attachments to the surface so they can finally be dealt with. What is exposed can be healed. What is hidden continues to control you. In this season, you are being tempted not necessarily with obvious sin, but with subtle compromise. The urge to lower your standards just a little. The thought that says, maybe this isn't that serious, or maybe I can handle this my own way. These thoughts are dangerous because they feel reasonable. But chosen one, partial obedience delays full breakthrough. God is watching to see whether you will honor Him completely. Even when compromise looks like a shortcut, you may also feel a strange urgency, like time is running out. The enemy uses urgency to create anxiety and push you into decisions that are not aligned with God's timing. But God does not rush, He prepares. If you feel pressured to move without peace, that pressure is not coming from Him. The Spirit of God leads with clarity, not confusion, and with peace, not panic. This test is revealing where your security truly comes from. When things are stripped away, people, routines, resources, you are forced to confront what you rely on the most. God is not removing these things to hurt you. He is removing them to free you. Anything you depend on more than God eventually becomes a limitation. God is teaching you how to stand firm even when everything familiar is gone. You may feel misunderstood in this season. People may question your decisions, your faith, or your silence. They may assume you are stuck, distracted, or unmotivated when in reality you are being led through a process they cannot see. Not everyone will understand what God is doing in you, and that is okay. This season is not about being validated by people, it is about being approved by God. You are also being tested in your consistency. Can you remain disciplined in prayer when you feel dry? Can you stay in the Word when it feels repetitive? Can you worship when your emotions are numb? Faithfulness in hidden moments builds spiritual authority. God is watching how you treat the unseen responsibilities before He releases visible influence. Some days you may feel confident, clear, and full of faith. Other days you may feel tired, uncertain, and emotionally drained. This fluctuation does not mean you are failing, it means you are human. What matters is not how you feel, but what you choose. Every time you choose faith over fear, obedience over comfort, and trust over control, you are passing the test little by little. This season is also challenging your identity. God is separating who you truly are from who you needed to be to survive earlier seasons. Old survival mechanisms, people-pleasing, overworking, emotional withdrawal, are no longer effective. They once protected you, but now they limit you. God is calling you to live from identity, not from survival. You may notice that God is slowing things down when you want them to speed up. Delays feel intentional, and that can be frustrating. But this slowing is strategic. God is aligning your heart with your future so that when the door opens, you walk through it with wisdom instead of impulse. He is teaching you how to wait without losing hope and how to trust without needing control. Chosen one, this test is also about your voice. Are you speaking life, or are you unknowingly agreeing with fear? Words carry weight in this season. What you declare shapes what you experience. God is training you to speak from faith, not from emotion. Silence, too, is being tested, knowing when to speak and when to remain still. You may feel like you are doing everything right and still seeing no movement. That feeling is one of the hardest parts of the test. But obedience is never wasted. Every unseen act of faith is being recorded. God is not ignoring your efforts, He is strengthening your roots. Trees that grow slowly stand the longest. This season is teaching you patience with yourself as well. You are learning to extend grace where you once demanded perfection. God is showing you that growth is not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes growth looks like choosing peace instead of reacting, choosing prayer instead of panic, and choosing rest instead of striving. Do not underestimate what God is doing in you right now. This test is shaping your discernment, sharpening your spiritual senses, and deepening your dependence on Him. You are being prepared to carry influence, responsibility, and blessing with humility and wisdom. What feels like delay is actually transformation. What feels like pressure is actually positioning. And what feels like uncertainty is actually trust being formed at a deeper level than ever before. Stay alert, but stay calm. Stay faithful, but stay gentle with yourself. This test is not meant to overwhelm you, it is meant to mature you. And once it is complete, you will step into the next season with clarity, confidence, and peace that cannot be shaken. You are not stuck. You are not behind. You are not failing. You are being refined. And this refinement is proof that something greater is ahead. Chosen one. There comes a moment in every divine journey when the atmosphere begins to shift even before the circumstances do. This is that moment. You may not see visible evidence yet, but something has already changed in the spiritual realm. The resistance you have faced, the internal battles, the quiet endurance, all of it has been building toward this point. You are standing at the edge of completion, and heaven is paying close attention to how you finish. What you are learning now is how to remain steady when everything in you wants to rush ahead. This final stretch is not about striving harder, it is about resting deeper in trust. God is teaching you how to carry peace before you carry the promise. If you cannot walk in peace now, the breakthrough will only amplify anxiety later. That is why God is stabilizing you internally before He shifts things externally. You may feel tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix. That kind of tiredness is often a sign that a season is ending. Just as muscles ache before growth, the soul feels weary before transition. This is not a signal to quit, it is a signal to slow down, listen closely, and lean fully on God. Finishing well matters more than finishing fast. In this season, God is sharpening your discernment. You are becoming more aware of what aligns with your calling and what drains it. Invitations that once excited you now feel heavy. Opportunities that look good on the surface no longer bring peace. This is maturity. God is teaching you to say no without guilt and yes without fear. Every decision you make now shapes the environment of your next season. You may also notice a growing confidence that is quiet, not loud. It is not arrogance or excitement, it is assurance. You no longer feel the need to prove yourself, explain yourself, or defend your process. This confidence comes from knowing that God has carried you this far and will not abandon you now. When you stop needing validation, you are ready for elevation. Some relationships will not make the transition with you, and that can be painful. But loss in this season is not punishment, it is alignment. God removes what cannot sustain the weight of where you are going. Holding on out of fear only delays the freedom God intends to give you. Trust that what leaves now is making room for what is meant to arrive later. Your prayers may begin to change. Instead of asking God to fix things quickly, you find yourself asking Him to align your heart. Instead of begging for answers, you ask for wisdom. Instead of focusing on outcomes, you focus on obedience. This shift in prayer is evidence that you are no longer driven by desperation, but by relationship. God honors prayers that come from trust. You are also learning how to steward silence. Not every battle needs an announcement. Not every revelation needs an audience. God is teaching you when to speak and when to stay still. This restraint is preparation for influence. Those who are trusted with much must learn how to guard what is sacred. The breakthrough you are approaching will require you to lead, to influence, and to stand firm when others look to you for direction. That is why God has been strengthening your inner life. What is coming will test your humility as much as it rewards your obedience. God is preparing you to handle success without losing dependence on Him. When the door opens, and it will open, it may not look exactly like you imagined, but it will be better than you expected. God often fulfills promises in ways that exceed our understanding. What matters is not the form of the blessing, but the presence of God within it. You will recognize the moment because it will come with peace, not chaos. Do not be surprised if things shift suddenly. Long seasons of waiting often end quickly. One conversation, one opportunity, one decision can change everything. But when it happens, you will not panic, you will be ready. The patience you learned in the waiting will give you clarity in the movement. You will look back at this season and realize that it was not wasted time, it was training. Every lonely moment built resilience. Every unanswered prayer deepened trust. Every delay protected you. What once felt like confusion will make sense in hindsight. Chosen one, you are stepping into a season where your obedience will produce fruit beyond yourself. Others will be impacted by what God does through you. Your testimony will carry weight because it was formed in silence and sustained by faith. People will be drawn to the peace you carry, not just the success you walk in. Remain humble, remain teachable, remain anchored. The moment you arrive is the moment you must stay dependent on God more than ever. Breakthrough is not the end of the journey, it is the beginning of responsibility. Even now, God is asking one final question of your heart. Will you trust Him, not just to give you what you asked for, but to lead you once you receive it? This is the posture that sustains blessing. You have endured the pressure. You have passed the refining. You have remained faithful when it would have been easier to walk away. That is why this season is closing. Not because you are perfect, but because you are prepared. Hold your ground just a little longer. Stay present. Stay obedient. Stay soft in heart and firm in faith. What God has promised is still on the way, and nothing you endured was in vain. You are not stepping into luck or coincidence. You are stepping into fulfillment. And when it arrives, you will know without question it was God every step of the way.